Today on People Now, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson test positive for coronavirus. We'll tell you what we've learned.
The NBA suspends the season amid the coronavirus outbreak as a player tests positive.
Plus, getting personal with Matthew McConaughey, the Oscar winner, opening up about some special causes and leaving a positive legacy.
Also today, Shark Tank star Damon John is setting us up for success with a brand new book.
Plus,
that's when I go and sleep out in the backyard.
Funny man Nick Offerman tells us about getting serious in FX's first ever series for Hulu, the sci-fi thriller Devs.
All that and more today on People Now. Let's go.
Hey everyone, welcome to People Now. It is Thursday. Glad to see you here. I'm Jeremy Parsons.
And I'm Andrea Boehlke. We have lots to get to, so here's what you need to know and what's trending today.
Actor Tom Hanks and wife Rita Wilson have tested positive for the coronavirus. Tom confirmed the positive results on his Instagram Wednesday. He and his wife are currently in Australia, where he revealed they were both feeling tired and experienced some body aches. He tells his followers in part, the medical officials have protocols that must be followed. We Hanks will be tested, observed, and isolated for as long as public health and safety requires. He ended the lengthy caption saying that he will keep the world posted and updated. Tom's sons, Colin and Chet Hanks, opened up about their parents' coronavirus diagnosis. Chet shared an update on his Instagram. Take a look here.
Yeah, it's true. My parents got coronavirus. Crazy. They're both down in Australia right now because my dad was shooting a movie down there. But I just got off the phone with them. They both are fine. They're not even that sick. They're not worried about it. They're not tripping, but they're going through the necessary health precautions, obviously. But I don't think it's anything to be too worried about.
Colin posted on his Instagram saying in part, my parents are receiving excellent care in Australia and are doing well and in good spirits given the circumstances. Despite the fact that I'm in LA and haven't seen them in over 3 weeks, we have been in constant contact and am confident that they will make a full recovery. We, of course, will continue to keep you updated as more news comes in. But for now, Tom and Rita get well soon. Utah Jazz player Rudy Gobert appears to have brushed off the coronavirus pandemic just days before testing positive for COVID-19. In a video that surfaced on social media, Gobert can be seen getting up from his seat after a pre-game interview on Monday and touching the mouthpieces of several reporters' microphones and recorders. A Salt Lake Tribune reporter said that while meeting in a media room instead of a locker room, which was part of the league's response to the outbreak, Gobert made a point to touch them in an exaggerated manner, seemingly a joke at the league's cautiousness. On Wednesday, the NBA suspended the remainder of the season after a player tested positive. In a statement shared by the NBA on Twitter, they say the test was reported shortly before Wednesday night's tip-off between the Jazz and Oklahoma City Thunder at Chesapeake Energy Arena. They added that the affected player was not in the arena at the time. That statement concludes saying the NBA will use this hiatus to determine next steps for moving forward in regard to the coronavirus pandemic. Gobert, who the Utah Jazz listed as questionable due to illness right before that Wednesday game, was identified by the Associated Press as the sick player. And KSL-TV in Utah is reporting that fellow Jazz player Donovan Mitchell has also tested positive for the virus. The NBA's decision to suspend its games comes after the National Collegiate Athlete Association announced that March Madness will be held without fans in attendance. According to the New York Times, as of March 11th, there are now at least 1,240 confirmed cases of coronavirus and 37 COVID-19 related deaths in the United States. Michael Strahan is accusing his ex-wife, Jean Mugley, of physically and emotionally abusing their daughters. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, Strahan is requesting that Mugley be stripped of primary custody of their 15-year-old twins, Sophia and Isabella, and that he be granted primary custody. He alleges that Mugley has been engaging in a pattern of abusive conduct towards the children for years. The outlet reports that Strahan claims that he has proof of the emotional and physical abuse, which he says he will detail in sealed documents. According to the documents, Strahan goes on to claim that Mugley is not taking their daughters to court-ordered therapy sessions and says his ex is the reason their girls are missing sporting events. Currently, Strahan has visitation rights, but he wants his daughters to move to New York and live with him. He also wants Mugley to be held in civil and criminal contempt for her alleged behavior. Strahan is asking that Mugley, who resides in North Carolina with the twins, only be given the visitation rights he currently has. Andrea has even more for us in Star Treks.
We are kicking off Star Treks today with a Bachelor update. The Bachelor's Hannah Ann Sluss is opening up about her time on the show on Wednesday's episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show. In her first sit-down interview, she tells guest host Sean Hayes that she is single and ready to mingle, and the audience loved that. And when Sean asked Hannah additional questions about her time with Peter, she did not hold back. Watch.
Peter, a good kisser?
I don't know about that one.
Really? Wow, you heard it here first. Are you doing Bachelor in Paradise?
There might be a bikini waiting for me. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Who would you be interested in dating from the Bachelor world?
I think this is the easiest question.
Okay.
Tyler Cameron?
Say what? Tyler Cameron was a fan favorite on Hannah Brown's season of The Bachelorette. During the two-night Bachelor finale, Peter Weber proposed to Hannah Ann, followed by breaking it off with her a month later to be with fellow contestant Madison. In her and Peter's first live sit-down interview, Hannah Ann called him out for blindsiding her. She ended with this piece of advice: if you want to be with a woman, you need to become a real man. And those are your Star Treks for today. Matthew McConaughey is entering the next phase of his life. The Oscar winner turned 50 in November, and he's been thinking about what he'll leave behind when the time comes for real. He exclusively tells people in this week's issue, quote, "It's really fun and interesting for me to go, okay, project forward, and look back at your eulogy. What will they say to your eulogy?" The Oscar winner asked the question, quote, "Can I live a life where I can look forward to looking back?" And while he continues to act, he's also building his resume with gigs he's passionate about. The father of three has multiple ventures. He teaches a film class at his alma mater, the University of Texas at Austin. He owns part of the new Austin FC soccer club, works as a minister of culture in Texas's capital city, and runs his Just Keep Livin' Foundation, which he started 10 years ago to empower students. So pretty busy guy here. And for McConaughey, it's all about legacy. He tells us he's been thinking about that a lot. He says, quote, "Being in my position, I had the means to give back." McConaughey's foundation found students in need and helped them with everything from exercise and nutrition to graduation. Some have even gotten scholarships. McConaughey says, quote, "That kind of stuff really feels good." The program launched in Venice High School in 2010 and is now in over 50 schools in 11 states. McConaughey's native Texas holds a special place in his heart. He tells us, quote, "It's home." The actor moved his family there last year. So with all the great work he's doing, would he ever consider running for office? He tells us, quote, "Right now, this Minister of Culture campaign keeps shining light on things that cross aisles. I wouldn't be interested in a political position if it would cut off access to what I believe in on the other side as well." And when it comes to running a classroom, what has Professor McConaughey learned? He tells us, quote, "I gathered a lot more experience than I realized. It's called script to screen, and we take students from the first script through the final product you see in the theater. We're giving the students a little science behind the magic of movie making." For more on McConaughey's exclusive interview, pick up a copy of People on Newsstands Friday.
Devs is FX's first series exclusively for Hulu. It's about a young software engineer who investigates the secretive development division of her employer, a Silicon Valley company that she believes is behind the murder of her boyfriend. Well, now that 3 episodes are streaming, we sat down with Nick Offerman, who plays the company's mysterious CEO, to talk about the show and what it's like working with series creator Alex Garland, who previously wrote and directed Ex Machina and Annihilation. Watch this.
When I got the call that he wanted to meet me for this, it was so unexpected because it wasn't really on the list of who might call me. And so I was immediately squealing at my wood shop in Los Angeles. Like, oh my God, this is crazy. This incredible artist wants me to do something that's not a comedy.
There is something to that, right? Being able to convince someone that you can do something other than what they have seen.
Sure, and I mean, I maybe, if anywhere, I maybe have some selections in television comedy, very specifically, but that doesn't mean I have my pick across the board. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't get many film offers, because Hollywood wants you to be a specialist, and so they think I play tennis when actually I also play football and squash.
Episode 3 streaming today, the 4th of 8 next week. What can you tell us about where we're going, when we're going to find out more about Dev?
Well, really, by episode 3 and 4, things start to become clear, but they're kind of unfathomable because where we end up is just somewhere no show is gone. It's it's sort of a new piece of landscape. So I think what's important is that the human elements that are driving the story. There is a thriller buried inside this crazy, mind-blowing sci-fi element. And so if you sort of follow the mystery and stay with our protagonist, who is played by the incredible Sonoya Mizuno, yeah, you stick with her character Lily, and ultimately we'll see just what I've been up to.
Nick and Megan Mullally have been married for 17 years and together for 20. And for a majority of their marriage, one of them has either been starring in Parks and Rec or Will and Grace. So now that the Will and Grace reboot is wrapping up again, do they have more free time to spend together?
We've had these over the years,
Yeah.
you know, where even if Will and Grace is happening or Parks and Rec, those only work 6 or 7 months out of the year. So we often have downtime. It's gotten to the point though where we have to call it out. So a year ahead of time, we'll say, okay, everybody, January, you can all go to hell. That's January is for us.
Okay.
So we'll claim our downtime, and it's lovely. I mean, you know, we're not as young as we used to be, and we really continue to simplify. We love going to restaurants. Megan, she hilariously, we call her the activities director. Megan's in charge of like what movie we're going to see, and she'll find a restaurant, and she doesn't miss. Like could be any kind of restaurant, from like a taco stand to a fancy new Italian place. Whatever it is, our hats fly off.
That's so great.
Yeah, she's you know, I'm very lucky. So I just ride shotgun and
Along for the ride.
Yeah.
we keep getting along.
What is the secret to your marriage?
The first and foremost, we made each other laugh, and I think that's at the heart of, if any relationship is going to survive, you have to be able to laugh about things when they get too serious. And we just got lucky. We adore each other, but you know, we're two human beings, so it's a relationship that requires work and patience and maintenance. You know, I'm sure I drive her up a tree sometimes, and then that's when I go and sleep out in the backyard.
In the wood shop.
Yeah, and then I write her a letter, and eventually she allows me back in the house.
As we mentioned, after 3 seasons of a reboot, Will and Grace is ending once again. The series finale has already been shot, so we asked Nick about how Megan is approaching it all. Take a look.
How emotional was she going into that?
It was interesting. You know, the first time around was, you know, was what it was, where it was like a life-changing, incredible gift. And then they were off for, I believe, 11 years, which is
Crazy, yeah.
So then suddenly they're coming back for 3 seasons, and what a gift is that to this group of people. All the same players came back. But at the same time, everybody was 11 years farther into adulthood, and their lives had already been changed by the show. And so, so it was really interesting. I mean, it was, of course, terribly gratifying to get to make, I think, you know, however many, 40, 50 more episodes. But it was different than the first time. You know, it was, it's always sad to get the old team back together and win a few more games. But I think in general, the company was also like, wow, that was incredible. But maybe just the right amount. Mm-hmm. You know,
Yeah.
great work, everybody.
On with our lives.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've never been asked this before. No, I'm sure actually everybody asks you about a reboot for Parks and Rec. But seeing Megan go through all that, does it almost get you excited about the possibility of that? Would that ever happen?
The thing is, Mike Schur, who created, the main creator of Parks and Rec and the main writer, ended it in a very specific way that he wanted to, with integrity, and like, you know, he buttoned it up. He made a deal with the network, and he said, if you'll bring me back next year for 16 or whatever it was, I'll wrap it up. And everybody said, great, shake hands all around. And so, having done that, I think he would have to come up with some crazy idea. If that doesn't happen, then I don't think there will be a reboot. Mm-hmm. Maybe it would be fun to do, because did I hear a rumor that there's some kind of like Friends movie or something?
Yeah, there's a lot of energy with the Friends
So it
franchise.
could be more of like a reunion. What do you think Ron Swanson is up to right now?
I mean, when last we saw him, he took a job as a park ranger, so I imagine he's befriended some bears, and he's teaching them to play Liverpool rummy.
For more of Nick Offerman, you can catch the first 3 episodes of FX's Devs, streaming now on Hulu, with new episodes every Thursday. Shark on the multi-Emmy award-winning reality show Shark Tank, and two-time New York Times best-selling author Damon John joined us to talk all things Shark Tank and his new book, Power Shift. We also had to ask him about his recent comments on what he believes the outcome of the coronavirus will be. Watch.
I made a lot of comments about it, but I think the one you're referring to is that it's going to create a baby boom, right? People are going to be home, right? And they're going to have some, extra time on their hands.
A little bored.
A little bored, maybe, or in love.
Or yeah, absolutely.
Right? And 9 months after everything is over, we're going to have a whole lot of babies.
History has shown this happens, right?
Listen, I travel 250 days a year, so I may be home, so I'm going to name my baby Corona.
That's really funny. Let's talk about this Shark Tank, 11 seasons.
Yes.
What keeps it fresh and new and good for you?
For me or for the viewer?
For you. Like, why, you know what I mean? You're now in the routine.
I get to still learn new things. I get to get educated on new ways that businesses are being done. I also get to invest in other people's dreams. I can't think of everything. So if you think of something really great and I could be your partner and make some money and change the world a little bit, I'm down.
It is one of those things where it's like, if you can have a moment where you say, why didn't I think of that? You're kind of onto something, right?
Yeah, but also, I mean, listen, I know we'll get into the book, but there's somebody in the book, my Bomba Socks guys, right, who come on to Shark Tank, and now it's the #1 invested product in Shark Tank history. That's mine. Right, Bomba Socks. So I know that you've interviewed Cube and all the rest of the guys.
I'm wearing them right now.
Remember?
Are you really?
I really am.
Oh, so
Amazing.
Just remember that all my other sharks are.
There we go.
There you go, my man.
Bombas. No, I know you guys want to see.
Now,
authentic.
No, I like seeing the socks, just maybe not you taking off your shoes.
But let's think about them on Shark Tank. Let's think about them on Shark Tank. They
Okay.
come on Shark Tank. I don't want to invest in any clothing companies. I already have that, right? This is the last thing I want to do. They managed to make it so attractive to me because they go, every sock that we sell, we give a pair away to the homeless. Plus, I was depending on retailers with my clothing brands. That's why my clothing brands are dead, because retailers don't know what they're doing. But Bomba Sock is selling directly to the consumer. So I did that investment, and even though it was a great investment, I also took the knowledge and learned how to improve my personal business. And that's why I'm on Shark Tank. Power Shift, well, it really came from when I was talking to a lot of people after my books, and they said, I still don't know how to become successful. And the theory was that they felt somebody else had to give them power, or somebody else was holding back power from them, or somebody took power from them.
Like waiting for it to be doled out.
Yeah, like somebody's
to
going to come to you at your house, take you off the couch, and say, here's power.
Right.
And it wasn't. And they also thought the negotiations were just like you see on Shark Tank. Due diligence starts way before you get to Shark Tank, or I see you for a job or anything else. It was about building influence, then negotiating. And when you negotiate, it's what's in the best interest of the person you're negotiating for. That's how you get the deal. And then also mastering the relationship afterwards. So I gave people step-by-step ways to do this, whether it's going on a vacation with your husband or wife and getting them to take that time off so you can remember how it was when you were dating, or it is to get a raise in your job, or hopefully get an investment. I'm giving people step-by-step ways to do that, and I have a bunch of other subjects in there who show you as well. Kris Jenner, Bethany Frankel, Mark Cuban, and various other people, Pitbull.
Yeah, Pitbull.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was the one.
I'm a huge Pitbull fan. I really am.
I am too, yeah.
Wait, what's your favorite thing about Pitbull and everything he's managed to do?
In Power Show, we talk about how he was a really down, dirty street rapper and can rap really well doing that. But he said, you know what, sometimes the world wants to escape and they just want to dance. And I'm going to do that. And all other rappers said, are you crazy? You're not keeping it real. And he was like, no, I'm keeping it real because I'm changing people's lives, letting them escape. Then he goes out there and creates this Mr. Worldwide brand, and now he has charter schools and businesses all around the world. He's Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
And he came from the streets.
And a great model for affecting change through different means than maybe you would see from the start.
You also talk about Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think people forget, like, she really launched this whole empire, the Kardashians.
100%. So I represented the Kardashians for the first 3 years in product integration in their show. I actually turned down Shark Tank because I said I couldn't do any other show but theirs, Shark Tank. But I said I was already on the Kardashians, and Khloe found out that I was going to turn it down. She fired me, because she wanted to make sure that I took the opportunity of Shark Tank. And then I had showed Kris Jenner like how I would do product integration in music videos and TV shows. She then went and started really creating the integration of advertising and marketing in social media and another platform, and did 10,000 times better than I could have done it, managing this group of people who didn't come from music, didn't come from sports, and who's probably the second most Google family on the planet besides the president.
For sure. Talk about negotiating specifically. What is your #1 tip for negotiations?
What do you want out of it, really, and what's your why? Why are you doing it? Forget even just negotiation. Why are you going through life and doing things? Why are you going to this job or going to that job? Or why do you want $1 million? Do you want $1 million because you want to buy one Bugatti, or do you want to buy 10 cars, or do you want to move away to a small island and carve canoes and live off of $30,000 a year for 10 years and then come back and marry somebody?
Okay,
What's your why?
very specific.
A lot of people don't know their why. So
Yeah.
in a negotiation, you're so busy trying to get a deal, but you don't know your why, and more importantly, you never care about that person's why. So you keep telling everybody your problems. I just need this job, I just need this deal. When I love saying, the old saying is, don't tell people your problems. 20% of the world doesn't care, and the other 80% are really happy that you have them. So don't tell people your damn problems, because I got my own problems.
Okay.
And people don't think about that stuff when they're negotiating.
For more of Damon John, catch him on Shark Tank, Fridays at 8 p.m. on ABC, and get his latest book, Power Shift, which is out now and available on Amazon and anywhere that books are sold.
All right, guys, she got her start at age 12 as part of the duo Lennon and Maisie alongside her younger sister. Now, after starring on Nashville and releasing a solo EP, Lennon Stella is set to release her debut full-length album, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Nice
Congrats.
to see you. Yeah, this is very
you.
exciting. What details can you share about the album? Any fun collaborations that you're excited about?
Nothing's like out yet, so I don't want to like spoil anything.
Just a little teaser.
But no, there's one specific thing that I'm extremely excited about that I think people have been wanting from me. So yeah, there's a collaboration and also just putting out songs that have been, you know, I've played them at like shows for so long, and you know, videos get posted and then have just been like talked about on Instagram. So having those be out in the world is also going to be nice.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, let's watch one that's out in the world. Your latest single, Golf on TV. Take a listen.
Some people think it's supposed to hurt, like it couldn't be real.
All right, so kind of a change of pace about a happy, healthy relationship. Right? Look at you go. What's the inspiration for this happy place that you're in?
I know, it's crazy. It's so funny because I didn't realize that a common theme was just like sad girl songs.
Yeah, it turns out actually we're in that kind of era right now,
singing
right?
a happy song. No, but it feels so nice to sing about something that's like healthy and pure, and it's like, it's something I like talking about, so it's nice to sing about it because it's just like, it's a message that is sweet to spread to anyone, but especially like, you know, young people like around my age. It's just like, okay, cool, healthy is cool. You know?
And you're in a relationship now, right?
I am, yeah.
Jaeger-Vinnet.
Jaeger, yes.
What's different about this relationship compared to past ones?
I mean, everything really. It's just very, very respectful and just like nice and pure and honest, and it just feels completely different than anything I've ever experienced, and just human connection too. Just feeling like very, just respected, and it just feels very like healthy and no games, like no. That's just such a thing in my like generation, especially where it's like you play the game and it's just like such a thing, you know, of just like
where are
make
we
them
really?
jealous.
Yeah, right.
So much of that, and I think, just having none of that, and it's just like direct and honest and just true like admiration for each other.
What a relief, right?
So nice. Everybody needs it. It's
How'd you meet?
Nice. We met in LA.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who approached who?
We approached each other. We had talked online before this, so we had like we went to dinner together before we had like officially met.
So like a slide in the DMs.
A slide in the DM.
Appreciate your work.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was, but neither of us really knew about each other before this, and then it was, pretty instant.
And now you got happy songs.
Now
so
here it
there
is.
you go.
I'm singing happy songs. Yeah.
Also a song about jealousy, because you have a song on, it's gonna be out on Friday called Jealous. What can you tease about this song, and what is it about?
So this song I wrote quite a bit ago, actually. It's kind of, this one has been through many sessions. It's funny because like some songs come out and they're just like literally written on the day, produced and sung on the day, and then that's how it comes out. And some of them are like, they take more of we tried a couple different times. So this one I really did like a couple different sessions for, and this was from a bit ago. This was like just, it was also kind of more lighthearted in the sense of just like, don't flatter yourself, like I'm not trying to make you jealous. Like that's really what it is, of like someone, you know, getting over, maybe you're getting over it quicker than they are, and they just think that everything you do is like intentional, like trying to hurt them and like so calculated and thought out, and you're like, it's really not that.
Like, unfortunately, dude, I'm like actually
I'm
over
actually
it.
just over it.
Are you someone that tends to get jealous, or not really?
I definitely like fight my innate like jealousy inside me for sure. But like I don't actually like, it's more when I really care about somebody that I get just like that, but it's never, I really hate the like jealousy game, like where it's like I'm gonna make them jealous or they're gonna make me jealous, like anything like that. I'm like, no.
So you recently announced you're going on this 28-city North American tour.
Yes.
Very exciting stuff.
I'm very excited.
So that kicks off when?
That's like middle of May.
Okay. And you've toured before, right?
Yeah, I have.
So what's the, I guess, a fan interaction, the fan experience that maybe you've had before that you look forward to again?
Oh, I mean, that's really my favorite part about being on tour is like, it makes everything that's so prominent in my life just like on Instagram, like just, you know, connecting with everybody, like just taking it to real life and actually meeting everybody in the flesh and like feeling the energy of the room. And every city is so different. It's so nice, and it really like fills me up and inspires me to like want to do it, you know?
Fans, of course, loved you on the show Nashville. That's where people connected, and something that people still love and think about and talk about. Has the cast, anyone that you have ongoing relationships with there, really reached out to support you as you launch new music and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, I was on the show for 6 years. I started when I was like 12, my sister was 8. So just being so young, there's like a forever like family just feeling that will come with them forever and the whole cast and crew. Most would be Chip. Yeah, we're really, really tight with him, and forever will be. He's definitely just like, it feels like fatherly, like genuine pride.
And then Connie Britton is someone that we love around here.
Yes.
What's the #1 takeaway from working with her?
I mean, she's kind of a similar energy where it's like motherly, and it feels very nurturing, and like being so young when we started, that kind of, it was needed, and we didn't really like know anything other than that. That was the first thing I ever did acting. I've never like been a part of anything like that. So having those energies and that like feeling around you is so necessary, and especially, yeah, from her it was so nice because I shot so much with her, especially at the beginning, more so with her than Chip. And yeah, she's just really great person to learn from and professional to learn from, and yeah, she's just a solid woman.
Yeah. And you two, you and your sister Maisie, were so young when you started that. And of course, people remember you from your YouTube days. Any duets in the future for you two? Because I'm sure fans are dying for that.
They're for sure, yeah, that's, yeah.
Good
idea. Like, we've connected some dots here.
It's for
Doing
sure,
some math.
It's for sure, yeah, that's inevitable.
Yeah. But do you think she would kind of pursue a career like you have? Because now you're kind of branching off and doing would she do a solo career, you think?
For sure, yeah. There's no question that she's gonna flourish into everything that she's supposed to. I think right now, I mean, she literally just turned 16. She was on a show from like 8 to 14, so it would just like needs a second to like, I mean, I don't even know if she feels this way. I mean, she does now, but like I just, as a sister, like want her to just take a second to just like breathe and like just be a kid.
And you two have really hectic, busy schedules. How do you stay connected during those times?
I mean, she's literally my best friend. We talk every day, all day. I mean, she comes out like a lot on tour too, which is a big thing, having her, my mom, boyfriend, like just having people out that like keep it very homey. But especially Maisie, like she is, I mean, the first time, immediately after getting out of the studio, she's the first person to like send the song to be like, do you like it? And quite frankly, if she says no, I'm like, all of a sudden, I don't really like it anymore. So no, she is very like, I very much like, I appreciate her like opinion, and it means a lot to me, and she's very involved in all of it. But yeah, I mean, she comes out a lot on tour, and then when I'm home, she's just like basically lives with me. So
you two are adorable. She also approves your Instagram posts too. I follow.
That is true. Every single one, I text every selfie. I'm like, I send her like 5, and I'm like, can you choose like heart? Which one you like best?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Right,
Be
real
that
quick.
person in your life.
Real quick, more acting, or are we all music for now?
All music for right this very second, but I will definitely circle back. Yeah,
Right,
I would love
watch
to.
it.
Well, congrats on everything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for stopping by, Lennon.
you for having me.
And her latest song, Golf on TV, is out now, and you can hear Jealous on Friday off her upcoming debut album, 321.
All right, coming up tomorrow, Thomas Barbuska is telling us about his role in the Hulu original film, Big Time Adolescence.
Dance duo and brothers Val and Max Chmerkovskiy are teasing their upcoming dance tour with their wives.
All right, that's it for this edition of People Now. Bye, everyone.